Kylie Balazs joins me now, manager here of Horseland Bendigo. But yesterday you had one of the highs of racing, Kylie, with a win at Flemington with a horse relatively inexperienced until you guys took over the purchase.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed, really. Nathan rang and sent an email or message in May asking if we wanted to go into this new horse that he'd purchased. And I rang, I liked him straight away. I looked up the form and the breeding and stuff, and as I always do, and I rang around and asked a few people that I thought might know him or know about him or could find out, and everything come back really good or ticked all boxes, and so I said, yeah, absolutely. And he's just been a dream, really. So.
It's a good story for a lot of people who'd be watching. They'd be saying, who is Kylie Balazs? You formerly were Kylie Wallace. You've been a harness person for a long time. The reason I'm doing this interview is you actually manage the Horseland store here in Bendigo, and you kindly sponsored my daughter about 12 months ago. It was that you sponsored my daughter. So
yeah, I think the memory came up just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I'm sure you sponsored a lot of other children, but horse racing cops a lot of bad raps from time to time. But watching your social media feed last night and the amount of people that were engaged and genuinely excited for you, you had little comments to big comments. It's a great sport, isn't it, racing?
It is a great sport, and it does get a bad rap, but if you see the way the girls that work for Nathan, Zoe Lloyd, she does all these track work on him at home. Maddie, who rode him her first time yesterday for her first ride at Flemington. Those girls, Ali, their older sister, she's the foreperson for Nathan. Those girls love those horses. They're not just a job to them, and racing is such a sport that can bring people together. Last 6 months have been tough for everyone, and this horse has just been a breath of fresh air for all of us that are involved. And I only just said to Mum this morning that I've got more joy out of everyone else's joy of this horse as much as I've got out of it myself. It's just so nice. I love it.
It's been very well received. I think Nathan, the jockey, I forgot her name already, Megan.
Madison.
Yeah,
Maddie.
They've been, well looked after in the social media and also the mainstream media.
Yep.
Which has been terrific, and that's exactly what racing's about. It's about good stories and telling them. I've spoken to you. Mum's hiding behind the desk. She doesn't want to get into the camera shot at all.
No.
Never once have you mentioned the starting price. You couldn't care what it started at or how much prize money you won. It's just the thrill of actually owning it. You're telling me that the store was full of people. You weren't even sure if you're going to be able to watch it, and then you actually had one of the customers come in and joined in the screaming with you.
Yep, that's right. I think she thought someone might have actually been getting murdered in the office to start with until we told her what was going on. But she was so thrilled for us, and I've never seen her here before, but she was as equally thrilled for us as we were. So, that's just so lovely.
She might want to get a horse?
She might, yeah. So I might have picked up a couple of extra owners for Nathan this week, I reckon.
You've had trotting winners, without a doubt. I think you've owned a greyhound winner as well, have you not?
Yep.
So you've had winners in all three codes, and you still get as big a kick out of any of them?
It's funny, I've actually also had not trained in my name, but I've had associations with thoroughbred winners as well that I've had at my place back in the day, and we've had Moonee Valley winners, and I've even had a winner with Nathan, albeit only a picnic sort of non-tab race, but it was still a bigger thrill. But this horse is extremely special. He's
So how did you come to get involved? One with Nathan Hobson, I suppose, and then also this horse Yulong Storm. How did you come to get involved with him?
My uncle Lawrence has about 15 horses with Nathan, and he'd been sending videos and emails and stuff of all his ones, and we'd had lots of talks about getting into one. I was going to get a girls syndicate and get a share, and then I just decided I would go and get a share myself. So this is the third horse that I've had a share in with Nathan. The first one is still in the paddock at my place. He was not much good, but anyway, he had his issues. The second one won one for us in a few placings, and we've found him a lovely home with a girl. Nathan tries really hard to rehome all his horses after they've finished racing, which is another really good thing. And then Yulong Storm came along, and so we went into him. But he's American bred, Yulong Storm. He's by a stallion called Scat Daddy, who unfortunately died before Yulong Storm was born. But initially Coolmore Stud brought him at the yearling sales and paid $500,000 for him.
This is for Yulong Storm?
Yeah, so he was a very expensive horse. He went from America to Aidan O'Brien in Ireland.
Yep.
And then from there Yulong Stud brought him to Australia. I'd hate to think what they paid for him as a young colt, because I think probably by that stage Scat Daddy had Justify Racing, which won a Triple Crown, who is now his first foals are just hitting the ground here in Australia. So I think they paid something like $32 million for him to stand at stud, something ridiculous like that. So really good bloodlines. On his dam side, he had actually they were bred to stay, but which I don't know. You can never tell from breeding, but so yeah. Anyway, then he had 5 starts for Yulong, and then he won 1 for them, and then he'd been turned out in the paddock in November. He was actually in quarantine. He was meant to go to China, and his flight was cancelled because of COVID. So they put him on bloodstock auctions, and we got him for a bargain price. We got him for $9,500.
So
he owes someone a lot of money, but not us.
I was gonna ask, was he sold to Japan or China, wherever he was heading?
Well, Yulong, I think, are Chinese based.
So he was possibly going over there to race.
Yeah, so he was going there to race in China, but yeah, with COVID, his flight was cancelled. So we ended up with him. There was actually a couple of other Yulong horses that went through the same sale, and one of them went to Sydney. Or I'm not sure it was the same sale, but one of them went to Sydney, and they paid $50,000 for him, and he won at Randwick about 3 weeks ago. But he's been a nice horse, but I think ours has been the bargain buy, and I think he's won the most.
So he's won 5 for you since purchasing him, and that was back in
5 starts, 4 wins, and a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's since what, February?
No, only in the last 8. Well, he races roughly every 2 weeks since we've had him. So what's that? He's had his early August, in late July, I think. Yeah, thereabouts.
Nathan Hobson, does he train many horses?
Yeah, he's got a few in work. I couldn't tell you exactly how many he's got in work, but he'd have probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 horses in work. He's up at Swan Hill. He does an incredible job. He's not, he's not been training forever. He's probably only been training, 12 years maybe, 10, 12 years at the most. He's done all the hard yards, but what I really liked, from someone who's been in racing all their life, I love the passion that they all have up there. I love the way they get looked after. They always look a treat, like if one of his horses steps out, it always looks like it's ready to be there. So yeah, he keeps you up to date. It's a great stable to be a part of, and I'm very grateful. And
Maddie's first ride in the Big Smoke, and she comes up with a winner.
Well, her first ride at headquarters, she won a midweek city a couple of weeks ago, but this was her first ride at Flemington and her first win. So very excited.
You're very, very happy. As I said, you also sponsored my daughter, and you helped her get to Sydney Nationals. I think they were. I'll get into trouble from Holly for getting
Pony Club Nationals.
Pony Club Nationals 12 months ago. All that has stopped. How hard has it been here in a store that revolves around shows, competitions, turnover of horses and the likes? Has it been a bit of a struggle lately?
Look, to be quite honest, when all this sort of started, we didn't know whether we were going to be open or closed, or what, how we'd be received, or what would happen. And we have just been so lucky. Our customer base around the Bendigo and outer areas have supported us immensely and are fantastic. We've been able to stay open the whole time. And I just think being engaged with our customers and keeping them up to date with everything, we've upped our social media. I think it's really helped. And nothing's too much trouble. Like, we're more than happy to chase things up for people. If we don't have it, we'll try and find it. You know, like, we're all in this together. So, yeah, I think that's been the key, and we've been lucky that we're actually doing really well.
For a lot of our racing people, I'm just trying to show you a wide range, especially of Ariat boots, which I'm sure any person, especially the summer collection coming out now, which is actually why I'm here. But you have plenty of stuff. All the racing people, I mean, we all go to Garrard's and the likes. Do not forget Horseland Bendigo especially. Come back in and look after one of our own. But make sure we patronise the store. You're open 6 days a week?
I open 6 days a week, yeah. Ours is a bit reduced now with COVID, but we're still here from 10 till 5 and 10 till 2 on Saturdays.
Very good. Did you notice Mum was walking when I started moving the camera? She started like, I'm not going to get caught. But it is good to see Mum's here as well and looking terrific, which is she's had her own battles as well. Yep. So it's good to see that she's here and owns a share as well. And she was equally as excited, wasn't she?
She was very excited. That was Mum's Mother's Day present. I brought her a share in this horse, and she's got much joy out of him. Racing's a great thing. I gather that orange is the colour, is it, this year? Orange and green are the colours, yeah. Beautiful and spring colours. All our gorgeous new spring range is out and moving very fast. So we've already had to restock, and it's only been out a week or two. Orange doesn't look that good on me, but I don't think I'm big on the fashion stakes, Kylie, thank you very much. And as I said to anyone out there, get in here to Horseland Bendigo, ring on the phone and order. Huge range of rugs, as I said, Ariat Sporting Apparel, the whole box and dice. Get in here and look after our locals. Thank you very much, Kyles. Thank you.